What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. For today I have one of the most interesting phones for 2017 and this is the Xiaomi Mi A1, which is basically a Xiaomi Mi 5X that's running stock Android. So with this phone, Xiaomi is controlling the hardware and Google is controlling the software, and that means that we get updates whenever Google makes them available, and that's great because we all know that Xiaomi is very slow at sending updates. So hardware-wise, this phone is identical to the Xiaomi Mi 5X, and I've done a full review on the Xiaomi Mi 5X about 2 months ago, I would say, and I'm gonna leave a link to that review in the video's description or the top right corner of this video. You can buy this phone for around $220, and for that price we get amazing value. So first of all, we get a phone that's mostly made out of metal, so the back, the sides, everything it's made out of metal. We have a 5.5-inch screen with a 1080p resolution. It's a beautiful screen as well. We even have a fingerprint scanner on the back, and the fingerprint scanner is actually very fast and very accurate as well. And you can actually do gestures with the fingerprint scanner as well. So just as you've seen on the Google Pixel or the Google Nexus or anything like that, any phone from Google basically. We also get two 12-megapixel cameras on the back of this phone. One of them is a telephoto lens, and that means that you can optical zoom without losing any quality, and the other one is a wide-angle lens. Now, what I wasn't expecting was to find Xiaomi's camera app installed on this phone. So even though we have stock Android running on this phone, we have Xiaomi's camera app installed, and that means that you're gonna take the exact same pictures that you take with the Xiaomi Mi 5X, which is a good thing because this phone has awesome cameras. Now, when I say awesome cameras, don't imagine for a second that this phone is gonna be as good as a Samsung Galaxy S8 or an iPhone 8 or anything like that. But this is probably the best camera setup for any phone under like $450, maybe $500. We have a portrait mode in there as well, and even though those pictures don't turn out good every single time, you can take some really good looking pictures with that portrait mode as well. But what's the most surprising about this camera? It's the performance in low light. So the pictures that you're watching right now are actually taken with this device. And if you look at these pictures and some pictures taken with the OnePlus 5 in the exact same spot, well, the pictures look very similar. So this is a phone that costs only about $220. Now, about 2 months ago, I've actually done a camera comparison video between the Xiaomi Mi 5X and the OnePlus 5, and I'm gonna leave a link to that video in the video's description and the top right corner here, so definitely check that one out. As for the video quality, well, it's not the greatest. I mean, it has improved compared to the Xiaomi Mi 5X because the sound is much better for recordings now, but the phone keeps refocusing every couple of seconds. So basically the footage that you're gonna record with this phone or the Xiaomi Mi 5X, it's not that usable. And just before we move on to the software, I just wanted to touch on the front-facing camera. So we have a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, but the quality from that front-facing camera, it's not amazing. I mean, if you have plenty of light, the pictures turn out okay-ish, but as soon as you don't have enough light, the pictures become kind of grainy and blurry. And we're moving on to the software. So if you've used the Google Pixel in the past, well, this feels just like a Google Pixel, but this is a $200 phone, not a $800 phone as the Google Pixel. Now, there are a couple of things that I haven't seen for any Google Pixel phone in the past, and that's the Xiaomi camera, and we already talked about that, and the fact that we have a remote control for the IR blaster, and the remote control is coming from Xiaomi. So this phone is powered by the Snapdragon 625. This is an octa-core CPU, but this is not the fastest CPU out there. However, this CPU has something going for it, and that's the power efficiency. So you're going to be able to go for about a day and a half on one charge, and out of that about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, which is great for any phone in any price range. So even though we only have a 3000 mAh battery inside this phone, you're not going to have to recharge it twice throughout the day no matter what you do with it. Since we don't have that heavy skin from Xiaomi to hold the phone down, the phone feels speedier than the original Mi 5X, and you're mostly gonna notice that when you're starting to open apps, because the apps open much faster than the Xiaomi Mi 5X. Of course, this phone is not gonna compete with today's flagship, so with the Snapdragon 835, however, this phone does very good for a phone that costs only about $220. And no matter how many apps you open, no matter what apps you open, all the apps work really good on it. Just as a quick example, you can play GTA San Andreas at the maximum settings and the phone is not gonna slow down at all. So no matter how much you play, no matter what you do, the phone is not slowing down. So even though we don't have the fastest CPU out there, the phone performs amazing for a phone that costs only about $220. Another thing worth mentioning is the sound output from the 3.5mm audio jack. So yes, we actually have a 3.5mm audio jack. So the sound output is so good that I can compare it with my Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus or my Note 8. So it's that good. Before I got to try this phone, I was saying that the Xiaomi Mi 5X was the best budget phone for 2017. Well, now that I got to try the A1, this is definitely the best budget phone for 2017 because we get a phone that looks absolutely amazing, the build quality is great, and on top of that we get stock Android. And on top of that we get amazing cameras and battery life as well, and all that for under $250, which is quite unbelievable to be honest. So if you're looking for a good budget phone, I do recommend this phone. Now, if you want to check out the review for the Xiaomi Mi 5X, as I said earlier, I'm going to leave a link in the video's description because I had more detail in that video. So definitely check that one out because I talked about more things regarding the phone. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.